Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, remember what we did last time? We talked about graphs, right?
Yes, ma'am. Jigsaws and crucial prism.
हाँ. तो लास्ट टाइम वी आर डन. हमने ग्राफ थ्योरी किया था जिसमें हमने प्रिम शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ के प्रिम्स और डिजेक्ट्रा पढ़ा था, और उसके अलावा हमने क्रुस्कल्स और दादा वन क्या नाम है उसका, वो सारे एल्गोरिथम हमने देखे थे. आज हम कर रहे हैं यूनिट 2, जो कि डिफरेंट टॉपिक है, डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग टेक्निक्स, राइट. तो डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग, नाउ व्हाट वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट इन डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग इज ऑप्टिमाइजेशन टेक्निक्स. सीखनी है हमें, ऑप्टिमाइज करना है अपने प्रॉब्लम को, सो दैट वी कैन फाइंड द रिजल्ट मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम. जो भी हमें फाइंड आउट करना है, ऑप्टिमाइज करके फाइंड आउट करना है. So it is an optimization technique. The optimization problems are those which required either minimum result or maximum result. Means finding the optimal solution for any given problem. So optimal means either finding the maximum answer or minimum answer. तो हमारा optimization से हमारा क्या मतलब है? What do we mean by optimization? We have to find the best result. Either we have to find a minimization problem, minimum result we have to find, or we have to find a maximum result, whatever it will be. For example, if we want to find the profit, we'll always find out the maximum profit, and if we want to find out the cost, we'll always find out the minimum cost. So according to our problem, real life problems, अगर हमें cost निकालना है, if we want to find a cost, so natural life we want the minimum cost, and if we want to calculate or find out the profit, we want the maximum profit. तो हर चीज का अपना related issue है. Although both greedy and dynamic are used to solve the optimization problem, but their approach to finding the optimal solution is totally different. So हमने greedy techniques देखे थे. We had seen greedy technique. So greedy and dynamic both are finding the optimal solution, but greedy is a different kind of a mechanism, or dynamic programming has different kind of a mechanism. In greedy method, we try to follow defined procedure to get the optimal result. So in greedy we had defined procedure. जैसे हम knapsack problem कर रहे थे, या जो भी problems कर रहे थे greedy technique में, उसका अलग तरीका है फाइंड आउट करने का, एंड इसका अलग है. तो in greedy method we try to follow defined procedure to get the optimal result, like Kruskal's for finding minimum cost spanning tree. Always select edge with minimum weight, and that gives us best result. Or Dijkstra for shortest path, always select the shortest path vertex and continue relaxing the vertices, so you get a shortest path. तो हर किसी का अलग method है. For any problem, there may be many solutions which are feasible. We try to find out all the feasible solutions and pick up the best solution. तो इन डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग हमारा क्या मकसद है, हम क्या करते हैं, ऑल द feasible solution we will find out, and we will pick up the best which is giving us minimum और maximum. जो भी हमें find out करना है, जो हमें best दे रहा है, उसको हमें pick up करना है, right. For any problem, dynamic programming approach is different and time consuming compared to greedy method. So dynamic programming में अब हमें क्या करना है, सारे solutions find out करने हैं. जो solution हमें best result दे रहा है, हमें वो लेना है. So it will take time to find out all the solutions. Greedy method के से compare करें तो. So dynamic programming granted to find the optimal solution of any problem if their solution exists. Mostly dynamic programming problems are solved by using recursive formulas. Though we will not use recursion of programming, but formulas are recursive. It works on the concept of recursion. तो ये ज़्यादातर dynamic programming आपके recursive formulas को follow करता है ज़्यादातर. तो अब it works on the concept of recursion, that is dividing a bigger problem into smaller type of sub problems and solving them recursively. तो ये उसी मेथड पे को फॉलो करता है जो हमने रिकर्शन के लिए पढ़ा था, कि हम एक बिगर प्रॉब्लम को सब प्रॉब्लम्स यानी स्मॉलर प्रॉब्लम्स में डिवाइड करेंगे और रिकर्सिवली उनको सॉल्व करेंगे. The only difference is dynamic programming does save the outputs of the smaller subproblem into a table and avoids the task of repetition in calculating the same subproblem. So in dynamic programming, what we will do, we will make a table, and all the sub problems result what we are finding out, we will keep it in that table. So that we need not we will avoid the task of repetition of recalculating a sub problem. So first is scratches for the output of the sub problem in the table. If the output is not available, then only it calculates the sub problem. So if there is already available calculation of the sub problem, it will find out from the table. If it is not there, then it will calculate. So this reduces the time complexity to a great extent. Due to its nature, DP is useful in solving the problems which can be divided into similar subproblems. If each subproblem is different in nature, DP does not help in reducing the time complexity. So what they are saying is some problems in between have the similar repetition of subproblems will come. So in such kind of a thing where repetition of subproblems are coming, so finding out one subproblem, the other result you need to calculate, because you know that this is the same subproblem which will give you this result. So in those cases, dynamic programming will help you, but dynamic programming will not help you where each subproblem is giving a different answer or different nature it is, or different calculation will result will come out. Then it will be time consuming and time complexity will not be reduced. So the problems will definitely be taken care of in that sense. So here we were first example, or first you can say what you say first algorithm which we will study in dynamic programming is matrix multiplication algorithm. So if we talk about the matrix multiplication algorithm, right? So matrix chain multiplication, actually through dynamic programming we will be solving this. So matrix chain multiplication algorithm is an algorithm that is applied to determine the lowest cost way for multiplying matrices. तो अभी आपने जो previous हमने एक Statton's multiplication algorithm पढ़ा था, वो एक formula के according चलता था, जो आपकी greedy approach में था, ठीक है. Statton's multiplication यहाँ पे हम dynamic programming के according find out करेंगे, and we have many matrices. Suppose we have 4 matrices, this A, B, C, D. We have 4 matrices. So how we will multiply these matrices? Because matrices are associative, so how we will multiply so that the number of multiplications what we are doing will be less, right? So actual multiplication is done using the standard way of multiplying the matrices. That is, it follows the basic rule that the number of rows in one matrix must be equal to the number of columns in another matrix. Hence, multiple scalar multiplications must be done to achieve the product. So matrix multiplication के बारे में आप जानते हो, how to multiply matrices, right? The column of one matrix should be equal to the row of the other. वही formula यहाँ पे apply होगा, same thing. But किस तरह से ये matrices को multiply किया जाए so that we get the multiplications are reduced. To brief it further, consider matrices A, B, C, D to be multiplied. So you have 4 matrices. Hence, the multiplication is done using the standard matrix multiplication. There are multiple combination of the matrices found while using the standard approach, since matrix multiplication is associative. For instance, there are 5 ways to multiply the 4 matrices given above. So how can you multiply? You can either first multiply CD, then after the result of CD is multiplied with B matrix, and the result of this whole is multiplied with A. The brackets or parentheses are given, right? Same way here, the other way is first multiply BC, then multiplied with BD, and the result of that is multiplied with A. This is another way. The other way is I multiply A and B first, then multiply C and D, and the result of both are multiplied then. This is another way. Then another is multiply BC first, multiply the result of that with A, then multiply the result of that with D, right? This is another. Then another way is multiply AB first, then multiply that with the result is multiply with C, and then the result is multiplied with D. So according to the parentheses, we have made that there are 5 ways to multiply the 4 matrices. These are the 5 ways according to the parentheses we have shown. Now, if the size of the matrix A, B, C, D are L, M, LM, that is the size of or dimension of A matrix is LM, B is MN, C is NP, and D is PQ, right? Respectively, then the number of scalar multiplications performed will be LM and PQ. So these are the scalar multiplications, but the cost of the matrices change based on the rows and columns presented in it. So suppose LM and PQ are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 respectively. The cost of A, B and C, D will be 12,500, and the cost of A, B, C, D is 10, 25, 9250. According to dynamic programming, we will see how the cost is coming like this. So there is a formula. So multiplying according to the brackets will give you different cost. This will give you this cost, this will give you this cost. So which one you will select? The lower one. The number of multiplications will be less. So dynamic programming approach of the matrix multiplication is adopted in order to find the combination with the lowest cost. So how do we do that? So matrix chain multiplication algorithm is only applied to find the minimum cost way to multiply a sequence of matrices. So we have to find the minimum cost way to multiply a sequence of matrices. Therefore, the input taken by the algorithm is the sequence of matrices, while the output achieved is the lowest cost parentherization, which will give the parentherization of parentheses you will give, you will adopt will be the minimum, which will give you the lowest cost, right? So how do you do that? For algorithm is count the number of parentherization, find the number of ways in which the input matrices can be multiplied using the formula. So this formula you have to remember. So Pn is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to n. So first Pn is equal to 1. If Pn that is n is 1. If n is 1, then your Pn will be equal to 1. If n is greater than equal to 2, then Pn will be sigma k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 Pk Pn minus k. This formula will apply. Or Pn is equal to, if n is equal to 1, it is 1. If n is greater than equal to 2, it is 2 n minus 1 Cn minus 1 upon n. So you can use this formula or you can use this formula, right? This is for finding out the number of ways in which the input matrices can be multiplied. Once the parentherization is done, once you find out the parentherization where you have to put the parenthesis, if you have 4 or 5 or how many matrices you have, the optimal substructure must be devised as the first step of dynamic programming approach, so the final product achieved is optimal. So you have to find the optimal substructure or optimal multiplication thing, so that you can multiply the matrices and you will get the optimal result. In matrix chain multiplication, the optimal substructure is found by dividing the sequence of matrices Aij into two parts. So if you have to find an optimal substructure from the main matrices, first you have to find out the sequence of Aij, and that is we have to divide Aij into two parts, that is Aik and Ak plus 1j. So you have to divide like this, Aik and Ak plus 1j. It must be ensured that parts are divided in such a way that optimal solution is achieved, right? Using the formula Cij is equal to minimum I less than equal to k and k is less than j, Cik plus Ck plus 1j plus di minus 1 dk dj. If I is equal to j, if you are saying C, you have to find Cij. If I is equal to j, it will be 0. If I is less than j, then this formula will be applied, right? So you have to see what is k. So k you have to see k will be always between it will be less than or equal to I and less than j. K will be I will be less than equal to k, and k will be less than j. So k you can find out from here, and you have to put that value here, and I and j will be the ones you are finding out, the row and column. I will be row, j will be the column. and these are the dimensions, the LM and the dimensions you are mentioning here. Those are your dimension D0. So di minus 1, dk and dj. Here your dimensions will be there. So find the lowest cost parameterization of the sequence of matrices by constructing cost table and corresponding k value table. So you have to, according to this formula, you have to make two tables. One is you have to find the cost, one is the cost table, the other is the k values according to that. So that once the lowest cost is found, print the corresponding parameterization as the output. So once you find the lowest cost, you will print the corresponding parameterization as the output. So this is the pseudocode they have given. I'm not going right now to the pseudocode. I just an example I am showing you. The application of dynamic programming formula is slightly different from the theory to understand it better. So a sequence of matrices A, B, C, D. So you have sequence of matrices, like you have 4 matrices A, B, C, D, and the dimensions of the matrices are 5, 10, 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 25. So A matrix have a row as 5, column as 10. B matrix has row as 10, column as 15. C matrix has row as 15, column as 20. D matrix has row as 20 and column as 25, like that. These are the dimensions are said to be multiplied. So we have to multiply these matrices. So find the lowest cost parameterizations to multiply the given matrices using matrix chain multiplication. So if you see here, the column of this and the row of this are equal, the column of this and the row of this are equal, the column of this are, that's why they are, we can multiply these matrices. So that should be there, right? So how do you do that? So you have these 4 matrices, A 5 into 10, B 10 in you have to multiply B 10 into 15 and C 15 into 20 and D 20 into 20. These are the dimensions you have to multiply. So find the count of parentherization of the 4 matrices. So your n is 4, number of matrices you have 4, that means n is 4. You have to find the number of, count the parentherization. So the first formula which this formula which we will take care, if n is equal to 1, it will be 1. If n is greater than equal to 2, so our n is greater than equal to 2 because we have 4 matrices. So if n is greater than equal to 2, so this formula we will apply. That is a second case of the formula, sigma, that is sum of k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 pk pn minus k. This formula we will apply, the second formula. So our n is 1, so pn will be 4. P4 we are finding is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to n minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. Right, pk p4 minus k. Now we need to see k. So k we can, if we see k is equal to 1 to 3, it is written. So first we can keep k as 1 here. So p4 is equal to p1 here, k is 1, p1, 4 minus 1 is 3, p3, plus next sum of we are finding out now, plus next we will keep k as 2. So if we are keeping k as 2, because k will be equal to 1 to 3. So first plus p second time k is 2. So we are keeping 2, and p4 minus 2 is 2, p2. Plus next up, now we have reached 3. So we are keeping k as 3, p3, 4 minus 3 is 1. So this we get, right? Now we have to find out what is p1. If p is 1, if n is 1, then it is 1. So p1 is, the answer to p1 is 1. What is p2? Now here if you see, if n is greater than equal to 2, then this formula applies. But what greater than equal to 2? If we apply here in the same thing, in the same formula, if we apply, if we say k is equal to 1 to 2, right? If we say that, sorry, n is 2. If we say n is 2, then k is equal to 1 to n 2 minus 1, that is 1 to 1. So pk will be here 1, and 2 minus 1 will be 1. So p1 will be 1 1 only. So p2, so p1 will be 1 and p2 is also equal to 1. If you find out, both are 1. both will give you 1. So P1 here you will keep 1, P2 also 1, P2 also 1, but we don't know the value of P3. So how do you calculate P3? Again, in this same formula, we keep n as 3, right? And now k is equal to 1 to 3 minus 1, that is 1 to 2. We'll find out p. First we will keep k as 1, and here 3 minus 1 will be 2, plus next will be 2, up to 2 we have to go, p2, p3 minus 2 is 1. So we find out this. So we know that p1 and p2 both are equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 we will get here. 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 is 1. So 1 plus 1 we are getting 2. P3 is 2. So in this formula, we will keep the values accordingly. We have found out P1, what is P1, what is P2, what is P3. So P4 is equal to, P1 is 1, P3 is 2, 2 into 1 is 2, plus P2 is 1, P2 is 1, so 1 into 1 is 1, plus P3 is 2, P1 is 1, 2 into 1 is 2, so 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. So how many combination of parentherization among these 5 combination of parentheses, the matrix chain multiplication algorithm must find the lowest cost. So there will be 5 ways or 5 alternate combinations will be there of the parentheses. 5 combinations will be there. So matrix chain multiplication algorithm can find the lowest cost among the 5 ways. Like here we saw na, there are 5 ways to multiply so it is finding out how many ways of combinations are there for the parentherization. So there are 5 ways. So we have found the 5 ways. There are 5 ways. Right. Now we will, the step 2 of the algorithm says, if you see here, the first you have to count the number of parentherization that you have done. The second part says that you have to find the optimal substructures according to these formulas. So you have to make 2 tables. One is for cost, the other is for k values. So second step says that first the table above is known as not above, this below, this one. This table is known as cost table, where all the cost values calculated from different combination of parentheses are stored. So cost table you will make like this. There are 4 matrices, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, like this. You have made the combination, and you will make another table for calculating, storing the k values obtained at the minimum cost of each combination. So these are the k values, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So these 2 tables you will create. So you have created that. You have 4. So step 2 says, applying the dynamic programming approach formula, find the cost of various parentherization. So we had seen in the algorithm that this, according to this formula, we have to find out our parentherize the cost, minimum cost, and the k value. So this is a formula. Cij is equal to min I less than equal to k less than j, Cik plus Ck plus 1 j plus di minus 1 dk dj if I is less than j. If I is equal to j, it is 0. So wherever, if you say 1, if you say 1 1, if I'm talking about the cost table, 1 1 1 and 2 2 3 3 4 4, I is equal to j in this, right? C11, C22, C33, C44, I is equal to j here. So here the value will be 0. So we have put 0. Now where I is less than j, so this way we are making a suboptimal problems. We are making like this. So now applying the dynamic approach formula only in the upper triangle values of the cost table, that is I less than j. Wherever I is less than j, so in your cost table, these values you are finding out the diagonal ones. So first wherever I is less than j, so here it is 1 2 2 3 3 4. So so these are the upper ones. It is saying the upper ones, 1 2 2 3 3 4, right? These values you have to find out. So 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 are 0. 1 2 2 3 3 4 where I is less than j, these you are finding out. So one is less than I is less than j here. So minimum, this formula you are applying, right? Min k is greater than equal to 1 and less than 2. This in this formula you will apply. So first one is 1 2. So k will be between k will be less than equal to k will be greater than equal to I, that is 1, and less than 2, right? So k will be equal to exactly 1 only. I is less than equal to k, so that means I is 1, so k will be 1. It is less than 2, so k will be 1 here. So c I k, I is 1, 1 comma 1, k's value is also 1, plus c k plus 1, that is 1 plus 1 is 2 comma j is 2, plus d I is 1 minus 1, d 0 will be the first one, k is 1, d 1, and d j is 2. So this is what we have applied here. So k is greater than equal to 1 and less than 2. So k's value will be 1 here. So c 1 1, I is 1, I is 1, and k is 1, plus c k plus 1. So k is 1 plus 1 is 2 and j is 2, plus d0 d1 d2, this we have found out, d I minus 1. I minus 1 means I is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, so d0. dk, this is, so k's value is 1, so d1. This is dj, so j's value is 2, so d2. Now according to this, what we have found out, we will put the values there. If you see here, C11, we have already found out 1 1 2 2 3 3 are 0. So C11 will be 0, C22 will be 0. So 0 plus 0 plus, what are these? D0, D1, D2. D0, D1, D2 are the dimensions of your these dimension, D0, D1, this. So 5, 10, and next is 15. Count this as 1 only, 10 and 10. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. These are the dimensions, right? So D0 is 5, right? D1 is 10 and D2 is 15. So these are the dimensions you are talking about. So 5 into 10 into 15 is giving you 750. So C12 is 750. This is the cost you are finding out. So in the table C12, you at that position you have put 750 in the table. Now the next one, which is I is less than j, I is less than j, is 2 3. Again k is k is greater than equal to 2, less than 3. So k will be equal to 2 here, right? So C22, because I comma k, I k. So 2 is I and k is also 2. So this plus k plus 1, that is 2 plus 1 is 3 and j is 3. And here it is I minus 1, that is 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 will be 1, and here it is k, dk. So k is 2. So 2, it comes out d2, and here it is dj, that is 3. So these dimensions. Now 2 2 is 0, 3 3 is 0. When we had seen here 2 2 and 3 3 are 0, right? And d1 d2 d3 are dimensions 10, 15 and 20, right? I told you you have to take the 4 dimensions here. So 10 you will take common here, 15 is common 1, and this is common 1. So D0, D1, D2, D3, D4. So 10, 15 and 20. So 10, 15, 20, the output is coming out to be 3000 here. So you will put in the table at 2 3 position 3000. Again the next one, which is I is less than j, is 3 4. Again you will find out 3 3 3 4 d2 d3 d4. 3 3 and 4 4 are 0 0. 15 into 20 into 25 will give you 7500 as the result, right? Can you understand this? Any problems? Any problems?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
right? So you have found out according to the formula. So these are the costs you have found out, and you also have to keep in your K. What was the value at this 1 2? What is the value of K? 1. What was the value of K at 2 3? 2. What was the value of K at 3 4? 3. So this also you have to keep it in the second K table. So here you have to put 1, here you have to put 2, here you have to put 3. Do you understand? You have to make two tables, right? This they have shown the cost table, but your K table I just show you. This is your K table. 1 2 3, right? You have to put the K values also, what you have according to the cost, what you have found out. So you have found out these ones where since I is less than j, you have found out. Now find the values of 1 3 and 2 4 in this step. The cost table is always filled diagonally. So the next one, what you want to find out diagonally, you can find out this one, these ones. So 1 3 and 2 4. These are diagonal values you want to find out. So 1 3 and 2 4. So 2 4 you are finding out. Again, K is greater than equal to 2 less than 4. So it will K will take two values. If you see here, K will take 2 and 3. So first one you are putting K as 2, this one, and the dimensions comma. The second one you are keeping K as 3, and the dimensions according to will come out. Can you see that? The first one, you are taking K as 2 because K is less than equal to 2, but greater than equal to 2 and less than 4. So K will take two values, 2 also, 3 also. So first time you are taking K as 2, so the Cij as or Cik and Ck plus 1j is coming out to be this, and dimensions are coming out to be this. Then you are keeping K as 3, then the dimensions and this are coming out to be like this. So if you see here, 2 4, this one 0, 3 4 you have already found out. If you see here, 3 4 you have already found out. You don't need to calculate again. So 3 4 value is this, and the dimensions are this, right? And this is coming out to be 5 plus this one, this into this. So this is 2 3. So I think 2 3 also you have found out 3000, and 4 4 is 0, and these dimensions are coming out to be 5000. So 3000 plus 5000, and this is this, right? So how much is this coming out to be? 10 in 150 into 20. How much is that? $3,000. 3,000 plus 7,500. So if you take this part, you have to take the minimum one. Can you see this? The formula says minimum. So this will give you 10,000 something. This is giving you 8,000. Which one will you take? 8,001, right? So that's why we have to take the minimum one. If we are taking K's value as 2 and 3, so which one is giving us the minimum? That one we will take as the cost. 2 4s. So 8,000 we are taking. Can you understand this? Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
Right. So we have taken 8,000 as this, and when we are calculating 1 3 again, 1 3 means K is greater than equal to 1 and less than 3. That means K will take the value 1 also, 2 also. So here K is taking 1 as the value. Here K is taking 2 as the value. Right. Now here 2 3 we have already calculated here 2 3. So 3,000 we can capture from here. Right. See, 1 1 is 0, 2 3 is 3,000, and this is giving us 1,000. So this is 4,000. Now 1 2 again 1 2 we have calculated 750 is the result here. so 1 2 is 750, 3 3 is 0, and the dimensions is 1500. So how much will that be? 2250. So which one is giving us 4000 or 2250? 2250 is the least. We have taken 2250 as the cost. Can you understand this?
Yes,
So here
ma'am.
they are not 2250, it is actually 2250. Here it should be 2250, right? So this again, now again you also have to keep the k values. Which one you have taken here? K is 3 here. You have not taken 2, you have taken 3, and here k is 2. Here the value for which you have selected the cost k is 2. So again you have to keep it in your case table 2 and 3, right? And the last element which you need to find out where I is less than j is 1 4. The next step is compute the final element of the cost table, compare the lowest cost, because you only have to find out where I is less than j. Remember, I is less than j. Where I is equal to k, it is 0, but I is less than j only you are finding, and diagonal elements you are finding. First you have found out 1 2, 2 3, 3 4, then you found out 1 3, 2 4, and last one is left is 1 4. So now 1 4 we are finding. Again 1 4 means k is greater than equal to 1, less than 4. That means k will take the value 1 also, 2 also, 3 also. So the k's value is 1, these are the values. K's value is 2, these are the values. K's value is 3, these are the values. With comma we have separated all the things. So we have to take the minimum one, right? So you have 0 plus 8000 plus 1250. Again 2 4 you have found out here. 2 4 you have found out it is 8000. So you can keep the value from above. So 8000 plus 0 plus these dimensions are giving you 1250. Again 1 2 and 3 4 you have found out. So 1 2 is 750 and 3 4 is 7500. So from the previous thing you have to take it. So 750 plus 7500 plus dimensions is giving you 1875. Again 1 3 and 4, 1 3 is I think 2250. It is not 2200, it is 2250. 1 3, so keep here 2250 plus 0 plus 2500 is there, which is giving you the lowest. 4750 will be the lowest. It's not 4700, it is. This is giving 8000 plus 1250 will be more. This 7000 plus this will be more. But this is giving you the least, which is 4750. And k's value is 3 here. So k's value is 3 here. Can you see that? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have only found out where I is less than j. So and the k's value also we have found out. Now that all the values in the cost table are computed, the final step is to parenthesize the sequence of matrices. For that, k table needs to be constructed with the minimum value of k corresponding to every parenthesis. So now if you see, to do parenthesization based on the lowest cost values from the cost table and the corresponding k values, let us add parentheses on the sequence of matrices. The lowest cost value at 1 4 is achieved when k is equal to 3. Therefore, the first parenthesis must be done at 3. So when we found out this last one, 1 4, the lowest cost at 1 4, if we see, it was at when k is 3, right? So when k was 3 at 1 4, we had found out the lowest cost. So we will put the parentheses after 3 matrices A, B, C. We have put 3. Can you see this? Can you see this? After 3 matrices, parentheses have been put. The 3 matrices are inside the parentheses. Can you see that?
Yes.
Can you understand this? Right now, the lowest cost value at 1 3. If we see 1 3, 1 3, the lowest cost value is 2200, right? So if we see 2200, right, so 2200 is achieved when it is k is 2. 2200 is achieved when k is 2. So that means the next parenthesis is done at 2. So that means first it was ABC at third. Now we have to divide, make it 2. So AB, after AB, that means AB is put in, the two matrices are put in the parenthesis, then C, the C1 is put. They have put D in the parenthesis. It is not required. D can be separate without the parenthesis also, right? Now the next lowest value is 750 at 1 2. Can you see that? 750 1 2. So that is achieved when k is 1. That is achieved when k is 1. Therefore the next parenthesis is done at 1. But we cannot divide now A, B, A different, B different, C different, no. But the parentherization need at least two matrices to be multiplied, so we do not divide further. So we will not take this. So our final result, which is there, the division of parentheses is, since the sequence cannot be parentherized further, the final solution of matrix chain multiplication is A, B, and into C and into D. Can you understand that? Can you understand how parentherization is done? Right? So this is what your matrix chain multiplication algorithm is. They have given you the program also. When we will do the the practicals, we will talk about the program then. So I'm just giving you this. So you should remember what is the algorithm, the formula which is used in the algorithm. So that this is the main thing you should remember, and how to solve the problem. So this is the algorithm. This you should remember, and you should remember the result how you have calculated. Can you understand? Any problems in this? Any problems, class? Matrix chain multiplication. Any doubt anybody is having in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Right? No, ma'am. If you want the same document which I have shown you, the PDF, right? This matrix chain multiplication, you can go to the tutorial. What is that? Tutorial point, and you can take that from there. If I show you. So this is the tutorials point, matrix chain multiplication algorithm. So this is explained in this. If you want, you can go through the content from here, right? Can you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Next, what is there? Next is optimal binary search tree. So if we talk about the optimal, if you know about the binary search tree, a binary search tree is a search tree that all the keys smaller than root are on the left side and all the key greater than the root are on the right side. Right? Those who know about computers, right, and they must have studied the data structure. So in the binary search tree, on the left side we have all the items from the root which are lesser than that, and on the right side we have items greater than the root. Yes or no? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So figure shown below is a binary search tree in which 40 is root node, all the node in the left subtree of 40 is smaller, and all the node in the right subtree of 40 is greater. So if you see here, it is smaller on the left side and greater on the right side. Right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is how a binary search tree is there. So no question is why keys are arranged in order, because it gives advantage of searching. Suppose I want to search 30, we will start searching from the root node, check whether root is 30, no, then 30 is smaller than 40, definitely 30 will be in left side subtree of 40, right? So what they are saying is we have to search 30, suppose. So first we will say that 30 is equal to the root, no. So it is 30 is smaller than the root, yes. So we will go to the left side of the tree, right? So then check the left subtree, and on the left subtree it is 20 there. So we will check whether 20 is smaller or 20 is equal to 30. So 20 is smaller than 30. So that means 30 will be on the right side of 20. So then we will go to the right subtree of this. So then we will find 30 there. Can you see that? This is how we search in a binary search tree. So to search, so out of 7 elements to search 30, it takes 3 comparisons. So out of the 7, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. So how many comparisons we have done? 1, 2, 3 comparisons, right? So number of comparison required to search an element in a binary search tree is dependent upon the number of levels in a binary search tree. How many levels are there? That depends on the comparisons. So we are searching for the key that are already present in the binary search tree is successful search. Now let's assume that key is 9. So 9 is not in your tree if you see here. And search is an unsuccessful search because 9 is not found in the binary search tree. So total number of comparison it takes is also 3. So there are two possibility to search any element, successful search and unsuccessful search. In both the cases, we need to know the amount of comparison we are doing. The amount of comparison is nothing but the cost of searching in a binary search tree. So optimal binary search tree, what we are doing is optimal binary search tree. So that the cost we have to find out how much cost it takes to find out a particular whether it is successful or how many comparisons we are doing. So let's take an example. Keys are 10, 20, 30. How many binary search tree possible? Tn is equal to, so how many binary search tree are possible if there are 3 keys? So Tn is equal to 2 Cn C to Cn 2n. So there are upon n plus 1. So there are 3 key number of binary search tree possible equal to 5. Let's draw 5 possible search tree shown in figure below. So again, the comparisons, the combinatorial we have done here, and we have found out it is the possible search trees are 5 here according to the formula. And these are the figures we have found out, the 5 ones. 10, 20, 30. Now you should know that if 30 we are keeping as the root node, then 20 and 10 are lesser than 30, so we are keeping at the left side, right? Like that. Now you can also make it like this also, 30 to the left 20 and to the right 10. This is also one possibility. Then if we are keeping 20 as the root, then 20's left will be 10 and right will be 30, right? Then something like that, whatever way you want to make it, just an example. So these are the 5 possible options they have made. Now the cost of searching an element in the above binary tree is the maximum number of comparison. In A, B, C, B, D and E takes maximum 3 comparison, whereas in tree C it takes only 2 comparisons. So this one takes only 3 comparisons. If we have to find out suppose 30, so we go to the root and say whether it is equal to 30, no. Whether that is greater than or less than 20, so it is greater than 20, we'll go to the right. So only 3 comparisons we are doing. Sorry, 2 comparisons we are doing with 20 and with 30. So it means that if you have a set of n keys, there is a possibility that any tree gives you less number of comparisons compared to other tree not possible binary search tree of n keys. It means that if a height of binary search tree is less, number of comparisons will be less. Height play an important role in searching any key in a binary search tree. So we want a binary search tree that requires less number of comparisons for searching any key element. This is called an optimal binary search tree, right? So we will find out all the possible trees, and which one is giving us the minimum comparisons, that will be our optimal binary search tree. Can you understand this? Can you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So for example, if for example, if we take this, so the optimal binary search tree algorithm finds the most efficient way to organize a binary search tree given keys and their search frequencies. So we will be given keys also, and their search frequencies are also given, minimizing the total search cost we have to do. So here a sorted array of keys will be there. So suppose a set of keys will be there, and a frequency array will be there, set of frequencies, where f is f underscore I is the number of times key is searched. How many number of times the key is searched, that is the frequency is given accordingly. The goal is to construct a binary search tree such that the total cost of all searches is minimized. The cost of a node is defined as so this we will find out. The cost is equal to frequency divided by the depth, frequency times the depth. So that is where depth is a level of the node in the tree. The root is at depth 1, right? So that also you have to take care of, how much depth it is at. So dynamic, according to dynamic approach, define the cost function. So let cost ij be the minimum cost of a binary search tree such that keys k underscore I to k underscore j. So the minimum cost of finding out the key from ki to kj. So that is what they are talking about. Recursive formula is cost ij is equal to minimum r equal to I to the power j left cost I r minus 1 plus cost r plus 1 j plus sum k is equal to I to the power j if k is right. So we will see that how this formula is working. Try each key r underscore k underscore r as the root. Add cost of the left and right subtrees. Add total frequency sum for current subtree since all nodes increase in depth. So base case is cost ij is equal to fi. A single key tree has cost equal to its frequency. So if it is a single key, then the cost will be equal to its frequency, right? So for example, we are taking here, we have 10, 12 and 20. These are the keys in the tree, and these are the frequencies, the number of time to search for this. These are the frequencies. If we say tree 1 means 10, 12, 20. This is a tree. I'm just giving an example. So root is 10 as root is there. So 10, the cost will be equal to 34 into 1, the first root. Then the next step is, this will be 2, this will be 3. So plus 8 into 2 plus 20 into 50 into 3. 34 into 1, 8 into 2, 50 into 3. So this will be 234. Tree 2 says that root is 12. If root is 12, then cost will be 8 into 1, right? Plus, then 10 comes, 34 into the right side, 34 into 2, and then 20 comes, 50 into 3. No, 50 into 2, because that will be at the 20 will be here, and on the right, on the left side will be 10, and on the right side, so it is 2 only. It is not going up to the depth 3. So it is 226. right? Now third one, if we take 20 as the root, right, then 50 into 1 will be there, the frequency 50 into 1 first is the root, so 50 into 1 plus the 8, 12 will be there, so 8 into 2 and 10 into 3, because depth will be 20, 12 and 10, like that. So 50 into 1, 8 into 2 and 34 into 3, so 194. So which one is giving you the less cost? If you see here, the
3, 3.
optimal binary search tree, the where root is 20, so that is the minimum cost is 194. This one, the third tree. Can you understand that? How they are found out? Can you understand the cost, how they have found out, how they have drawn the tree? The first tree, if 10 is the root, if 10 is your root, right, then how will you 10, if I draw it, sorry, insert. So if we take it, suppose 10 is your root, right? So 10 is your root. So if 10 is your root, then where will be the 12 and 20 to the right side, right? So this will be 12, and then again and this will be 20, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
to the left side of this, I'm just drawing, I'm showing you. So this is the way, right? It will be like this. If root is 10, so your cost will be, first depth is this, first level is this, second is this, third is this. So you have to multiply your frequencies with the level, depth level. 34 into 1, 8 into 2 and 50 into 3. Can you understand that? This is the depth level you are multiplying. If your root is 12, now if your root is 12, so where will 10 be? Where will 10 be? Like this it will be? Yes or no? Tell me. Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
To the right
Yes,
will
ma'am.
be the to the left will be the lower one. To the right will be the higher one. So it will be like this. So now 12 frequency is 8. So first level is 12. So 8 into 1. Then the next level, both are at the second level. Can you see that 10 and 20 both are at the second level? थर्ड लेवल
Yes.
डेप्थ तो नहीं है ही नहीं है ना? थर्ड लेवल डेप्थ है?
No,
No.
ma'am.
सेकंड लेवल ही है ना? तो यहाँ पे जो 10, जो आपका 10 है उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी है 34 इंटू 2 और 50 इंटू 2, यही रहेगा. कैन यू सी दैट?
Yes, ma'am.
ये मैं हटा देती हूँ इसको हम मल्टीप्लाई का सिंबल दे देते. तो ये वाला भी समझ में आ गया क्या हुआ, क्योंकि उसका डेप्थ लेवल तो सेकंड लेवल तक ही है ना, उसका डेप्थ लेवल आगे थोड़ी जा रहा है, इसीलिए 8 इंटू 1 34 इंटू 2 50 इंटू 2 34 इंटू 2 50 इंटू 2 दोनों सेकंड लेवल पे हैं। कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? और अब
मैम, ये
अगर हम
समझ नहीं
20 को क्या नहीं समझ में आया आपको?
how to calculate the cost.
हाउ टू कैलकुलेट वही तो बता रही हूँ आपको। व्हाट डिड यू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड? टेल मी। आप when you are keeping 10 as the root, can you understand how you have calculated this?
No ma'am.
When I have kept 10 as the root, तो मैंने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया आपने देखा? उसमें डेप्थ लेवल कहां तक जा रहा था? उसमें डेप्थ लेवल कहां तक जा रहा था बताओ। एक और बना दूं? This was 10, right? This is 20, 12, sorry. This is 12. And this is 20. तो डेप्थ लेवल आपका कहाँ तक गया बताओ? Where up to what level the depth is there? If this is your first case I'm talking about. If we are talking about the first case, what is the depth level? First level
20.
is this, second level is this, third level is this. Can you see that?
Yes.
Understood? So your calculation will be how? You have to take the frequency. 10 is the root for 34 into 1, first level. Second is 12, second level. So 8, frequency is 8, 8 into 2, second level. Frequency of the third one, 20 is 50, so 50 into 3, third level. Can you understand?
Yes.
Right? If we are taking the second case where root is 12, if we are taking the second case where root is 12, so 12, 10 is less than the 12, so it will be at the left, and 20 is greater than 12, it will be on the right of the binary search tree, right? Right
Yes.
or wrong? So
Yes.
10 and 20, how much depth is of 10 and 20? What is the depth? What is the depth of 10 and 20? Tell me. Both are at second level, na?
Yes.
First is 12, 10 is also at second, 20 is also at second. Whether right or left doesn't matter. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that's why we are calculating 8 is the root. So first level will be 8 into 1, right? Then 34 is the second, 10, 34 into 2, second level, and 20 is also at the second level, 50 into 2. Now can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? अब तो कोई डाउट नहीं है?
No, ma'am.
No ma'am.
Right. अब 20 को रखो अब आप रूट पे. So 20 is now at the root, suppose. So I'm just keeping it here. 20 is at the root. So where will be your 10? So just wait. So 10, 12 and 10 both are at the lower levels. That are less than the 20, yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So both will be at what level? At the right side?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, left side. At the left side, like this. So the level 1 is of 20, level 2 is of 12, and level 3 is of 10. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So 20 is the root, so 50 into 1 plus 12 is the second level, 8 into 2, and 10 is at the third level, 34 into 3. Now can you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
And the sum you have to calculate. This is what the result is, and the best optimal result you are getting with minimum cost is at root 20. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
This is how you find out how the optimal binary search tree algorithm finds out the efficient way to organize a binary search tree. Right? Where you can find have the minimum cost or minimum searches it will require to search a particular element. That is what we are finding out in this. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is what they are talking about here. The next algorithm which is there is binomial coefficient computation. We'll talk that a little later. This is again the here you know what is binomial coefficient? Binomial coefficient is not a optimization problem. Here you are not finding anything maximum or minimum, but still you can solve it using the dynamic programming. So binomial coefficient is the coefficient in the binomial theorem, which is an arithmetic expansion. It is denoted as CNK. So do you remember the combinatoric formula? Permutation combinations पढ़ा है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
तो
Yes, ma'am.
कॉम्बिनेशन में सी एन के मतलब आपका क्या फॉर्मूला होता है? n फैक्टोरियल अपॉन k फैक्टोरियल इनटू n माइनस k फैक्टोरियल. हाँ जी, पता है फॉर्मूला?
यस मैम, पढ़ा था ये थोड़ा बहुत.
हाँ, तो उसमें हमें सी एन के अगर आपको दिया हुआ है तो आप उसका फॉर्मूला होता है n फैक्टोरियल अपॉन k फैक्टोरियल मल्टीप्लाइड बाय n माइनस k फैक्टोरियल. ये फॉर्मूला होता है, याद है?
Yes, ma'am.
तो इस फॉर्मूले को ही हमें बाइनोमियल कोएफिशिएंट में हम ज्यादातर बाइनोमियल थ्योरम से हम ये फाइंड आउट करते हैं. दिस फॉलोज अ रिकर्सिव रिलेशन यूजिंग व्हिच वी विल कैलकुलेट द n बाइनोमियल कोएफिशिएंट इन लीनियर ONK यूजिंग डायनामिक प्रोग्रामिंग. तो हम उसी को फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं. तो बाइनोमियल इज आल्सो कॉल्ड अ बाइनोमियल एक्सपेंशन. Describe the powers in algebraic equation. Binomial theorem help us to find the expanded polynomial without multiplying the bunch of binomials at a time. The expanded polynomial will always contain one or more than the power you are expanding. So the following formula shows the general formula to expand the algebraic equation by using binomial theorem. So x plus a divided to the power n is equal to sigma k is equal to 0 to n, right? X to the power k, a to the power n minus k. X to the power k multiplied by a to the power n minus k, where n is equal to positive integer power of algebraic equation and nk is equal to read as n choose k. So either you choose n or k, whatever. According to theorem, expansion goes as following for any algebraic equation: a plus b to the power n is equal to 0n a to the power n b to the power 0 plus 1n a to the power n minus 1 b1 plus n 2n a to the power n minus 2 b2 plus up to n minus 1 to n a1 b to the power n minus 1 plus n to n a to the power n b to the power n. ये जो फॉर्मूला है इसको हमने एक्सपैंड करके ये फॉर्मूला बनाया है, where k n are binomial coefficient and kn is equal to ckn. तो ये जो हमने ये जो फॉर्मूला ये जो निकाला है यही एक्चुअली यहाँ पे एक्सपैंड हो रहा है. ये सी के एन इज, ये एन के का मतलब ये सी के एन ही होता है, गिव्स कॉम्बिनेशंस टू चूज के एलिमेंट्स फॉर एन एलिमेंट सेट, और इसका एक्सपेंशन होगा n फैक्टोरियल अपॉन k फैक्टोरियल इनटू n माइनस k फैक्टोरियल. So we can compute ckn for any n and k using the recurrence relation as follows. So इसका recurrence relation कैसे बन रहा है? ckn is equal to 1 if k is 0 और n is equal to k. अगर n और k दोनों equal हैं, n is equal to k, then ckn will be 1. Right? If for n k is greater than n and greater than 0, right, for k greater than n and k is greater than 0, k is greater than n and k is greater than 0, sorry, k is less than 0, k is greater than n but less than 0, then your formula will be like this: c k is equal to 1 to n minus 1, sorry, plus c k n to the power n minus 1. So c k k minus 1 to n minus 1 plus c k n to n minus 1. This is a formula. So that is what they are finding out, c and k. We're just seeing. अब now यहाँ पे binomial coefficient for n is equal to 5 and k is equal to 5 दिया हुआ है. तो आपने यहाँ पे एक टेबल बनाना है. You will make a table 0 1 2 3 4 5 0 1 2 3 4 5. अगर 0 है n और k, right, n और k, n ये है, k ये है, n और k अगर 0 है तो आपका, अगर इक्वल है तो आपकी वैल्यू क्या होगी? If n and k both are equal, n is 0, k is 0, तो it is 1. Again now, अगर अगेन यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया, n is 1, k is 0. If k is 0 तब भी ये 1 होगा, if k is 0 तब भी ये 1 होगा, तो यहाँ पे हमारा हो गया 1. अगेन यहाँ पे n is 1, k is 1, अगेन यहाँ पे 1 आ जाएगा. अब 2 पे आ जाते हैं, n is 2 and k is 0. अगर k 0 है तो अगेन it is 1 only, whether the value of n is 1 or 2 से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, it is 1 only here. Now n is 2, k is 1. If n is 2 and k is 1, you will put it in this formula, right? So इन्होंने कैसे फाइंड आउट करा है? ये 2 1 देखो यहाँ पे, C10 plus C11. Can you see this?
मैम अगर, हेलो मैम,
हाँ जी
मैम अगर n 2 होगा, k 1 होगा, तो वो 2 ही होगा ना?
अगर n क्या होगा?
2 होगा तो
हाँ,
k 1 होगा.
0 होगा, k 0 होगा तो 1 होगा.
मैम अगर k 1 होगा,
अगर k 1 है तो ये फाइंड आउट करेंगे ना.
यस मैम. सो वो 2 होगा ना?
हाँ, तो वही तो बता रहे हैं यहाँ पे, वही बता रहे हैं ना. C10 प्लस C11 हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे तो ये क्या आ जाएगा? 2 आ गया. ये इसी फॉर्मूला से आ रहा है ना, ये जो फॉर्मूला हमने लिया है, ये ck minus 1 to n minus 1 plus ck n minus 1. Can you see that?
Yes ma'am.
इसी फॉर्मूला से हमने यहाँ पे निकाला है ना ये.
Yes ma'am.
तो हमें पता है C10 क्या है, C10 भी 1 है और C11 भी 1 है, तो वही लगा देना है यहाँ पर इस टेबल के अकॉर्डिंग. ठीक है. उसके बाद 3 0 तो 1 होगा. 3 1 हमें कैलकुलेट कर लेना ऐसे, राइट, फॉर्मूला के अकॉर्डिंग. 3 2 भी कैलकुलेट कर लेना है ऐसे आपको. 3 2
3 आ जाएगा.
हाँ, 3 2 भी कैलकुलेट कर लेना है. ये 3 2 कैलकुलेट किया हुआ है, ये रहा, है ना. और 3 3 भी कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो. अब 3 3 में क्या 1 ही होगा ना, वो i इज इक्वल टू n इज इक्वल टू k में 1 है और k इज इक्वल टू 0 में भी 1 है, राइट. तो 3 n और k दोनों इक्वल हैं, इसीलिए यहाँ 1 आ गया. अब 4 और 0 यानी n is 4 k is 0, k is 0 में भी 1 आएगा यहाँ पे। 4 1 कैलकुलेट करना है, 4 2 कैलकुलेट करना है, 4 3 कैलकुलेट करना है, 4 4 तो 1 होगा। तो ये कैलकुलेट हो रहा है ना, 4 2 4 3 और 4 4 तो 1 है। 5 1 ये 5 और 0 आएगा 1, 5 और 1 कैलकुलेट करना है, 5 और 2 कैलकुलेट हुआ है, 5 3 5 4 और 5 5 1 होगा। कैन यू सी दैट?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what your table will give you, the binomial coefficient. ठीक है, तो according to the formula, when k is 0, corresponding value in the table will be 1. All the values in column 1 will be 1. So if you see, all the values in column 1 are 1 क्योंकि k is equal to 0. When k similarly when n is equal to k, so where n is equal to k, 0 ये here diagonal value, these are also 1. This one and this one are 1. In the diagonal index will be 1. So this is how you calculate the binomial coefficient. इसमें हम binomial coefficient में हमको maximum minimum नहीं find out करते, समझ गए?
Yes, ma'am.
ये कोई ऑप्टिमल सॉल्यूशन वाला प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बस इसमें यही फाइंड आउट होता है। और इसका जो टाइम कम्प्लेक्सिटी है वो है n into k. Time complexity of binomial coefficient is the size of the table, that is n into k. Well, 5 into 5 मतलब 25. समझ में आया बाइनोमियल थ्योरम क्या
Yes,
कर रहा
ma'am.
है? This is what binomial theorem is doing. They are computed it with there. Then next is all pair shortest path. अब जो हमने अभी पढ़े थे ग्राफ थ्योरम में, ग्राफ थ्योरी में, उसमें हमने पढ़े थे प्रिम्स एल्गोरिथम, क्रुस्कल्स और डिजैक्ट्रा और ये सब एल्गोरिथम्स पढ़े थे। तो इस उसमें से भी आप जो हमने देखा था ना, डिजैक्ट्रा और बेलमंट-फोर्ड एल्गोरिथम एक और था, शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ फाइंड करने के लिए 2 एल्गोरिथम है। कॉस्ट फाइंड करने के लिए प्रिम्स और क्रुस्कल है, शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ फाइंड करने के लिए डिजैक्ट्रा और बेलमंट-फोर्ड है। डिजैक्ट्रा जो है वो नेगेटिव वेट नहीं लेता, रिमेंबर, इट डजंट टेक नेगेटिव वेट।
Yes, ma'am.
बेलमंट-फोर्ड नेगेटिव वेट ले लेता है, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
So the simple answer to this problem would be to apply single source shortest path algorithm, that is Dijkstra or Bellman-Ford. वो कह रहा है suppose we require to design a railway network where any 2 stations are connected with an optimum route. The simple answer to this problem would be to apply single source shortest path algorithm, Dijkstra or Bellman-Ford algorithm for each vertex of the graph. The other approach may be to apply all pair shortest path algorithm, which gives the shortest path between any 2 vertices of a graph at one go. We would see which approach will give the best result for different types of graph later on. तो यहाँ पे हमारा जो all pair shortest path algorithm है उसका नाम है Floyd-Warshall algorithm. The name of the algorithm is Floyd-Warshall algorithm, right? और हम उसमें डिजैक्ट्रा और बेलमंट-फोर्ड एल्गोरिथम में क्या होता था, बेलमंट-फोर्ड नेगेटिव वेट ले लेता है, डिजैक्ट्रा नहीं लेता है। तो बेलमंट-फोर्ड और डिजैक्ट्रा में हम एक रूट फाइंड करते थे, राइट, सिंगल रूट, रिमेंबर?
Yes, ma'am.
हियर इन डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग हम क्या करेंगे, सारे रूट्स फाइंड आउट करेंगे, जो हमें मिनिमम देगा वो हम सेलेक्ट करेंगे। कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
तो डिफरेंट ग्राफ्स बनेंगे इसमें। तो the algorithm name is Floyd-Warshall algorithm, which uses dynamic programming methodology. Unlike greedy algorithm, which always looks for local optimization, dynamic programming strives for global optimization. That means DP does not rely on immediate best results. It works on the concept of recursion, dividing a bigger problem into simpler type of sub problems and solving them recursively. वो तो हम देख ही चुके हैं। तो वही अप्रोच यहाँ पे फॉलो करेगा। सो अब फ्लॉयड वॉशल एल्गोरिथम वर्क्स ऑन डायरेक्टेड वेटेड ग्राफ, ये भी ध्यान में रखना। फ्लॉयड वॉशल एल्गोरिथम किस पे काम करता है? डायरेक्टेड वेटेड ग्राफ पे। डायरेक्शन भी दिया हुआ है, कौन से कहाँ वर्टेक्स, कौन से वर्टेक्स से कौन से वर्टेक्स पे डायरेक्शन है और उनका वेट क्या है वो भी दिया हुआ है, इंक्लूडिंग नेगेटिव वेट्स आल्सो। इट वर्क्स ऑन नेगेटिव वेट्स आल्सो, although it does not work on graph having negative weight cycle, it works on edge having negative weight, but cycle अगर होगा negative weight cycle होगा तो work नहीं करेगा। So the Floyd-Warshall algorithm, हाँ जी, is somebody asking something? Okay. Uses a concept in intermediate vertex in the shortest path. Intermediate vertex in any simple path P is equal to V1, V2, V1 is a vertex in P except source vertex V1 and destination vertex VT. तो ये बोल रहे हैं कि Floyd-Warshall algorithms जो है फ्लॉयड-वॉशल एल्गोरिथम जो है वो इंटरमीडिएट वर्टेक्स को लेके काम करता है। इंटरमीडिएट वर्टेक्स, कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर इंटरमीडिएट वर्टेक्स? सोर्स वर्टेक्स और डेस्टिनेशन वर्टेक्स को छोड़ के जो अंदर जितने भी वर्टेक्स हैं उनको हम इंटरमीडिएट वर्टेक्स बोलते हैं, उनको लेके काम करता है। तो लेट अस टेक अ ग्राफ VGVE having vertex set V is equal to 1 2 3 up to n. Take a subset of V as VS1 is equal to 1 to k for some value of k for any pair of vertices I, j, element V, list of all paths from I to j such that any intermediate vertex in those paths belong to VS1. Find the shortest path PS among them. Now there is one possibility between the two cases listed. The vertex k does not belong to the shortest path PS. The vertex k belongs to the shortest path PS. So they are saying some value we are taking k. तो हम एक सेट निकाल लेंगे इसके अंदर से जो कि हमारा सेट 1 होगा VS1, और वो सेट होगा 1 2 अप टू k कोई एक सम वैल्यू वहां तक। अब I और J जो कि वर्टेक्स I एलिमेंट V लिस्ट के हैं और फ्रॉम देयर आर एजेस फ्रॉम I to J सच दैट एनी इंटरमीडिएट वर्टेक्स इन दोस पाथ बिलोंग टू S1, मतलब ये S1 के अंदर ये I to J में। हाँ जी
मैम, ये एल्गोरिथम कैसे नेगेटिव एज वेट हैंडल करता है?
नेगेटिव एज वेट हैंडल करेगा इस तरह से कि अगर आपको यहाँ कोई एग्जांपल दिया है ना, जैसे कि ये अगर कोई साइकिल बन रही होगी ना तो ये नहीं हैंडल करेगा। अगर कोई सिंपल पाथ होगा तो इट यू कैन टेक दैट नेगेटिव वेट आल्सो, यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट दैट। बेलमैन-फोर्ड एल्गोरिथम देखा था लास्ट टाइम? Have you seen the Bellman-Ford algorithm? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
तो उसमें हमने कैलकुलेट नहीं किया था नेगेटिव वेट लेके?
Yes, ma'am.
तो वैसे ही इसमें भी वैसे ही लोगे आप। अगर पाथ में नेगेटिव वेट है तो लोगे, राइट? और साइकिल नहीं लेना है, नेगेटिव वेट साइकिल नहीं लोगे। अगर कोई नेगेटिव वेट साइकिल बन रहा है वो नहीं लेना है। यू कैन इंक्लूड द नेगेटिव वेट इफ सिंगल नेगेटिव वेट इज देयर। तो इसका ये इन्होंने यहाँ पे इन्होंने ये इस फार्मूला के अकॉर्डिंग हमें काम करना है। सो यहाँ पे ये बोल रहा है कि हमें इंटरमीडिएट पाथ देखने हैं और हमें चेक करना है वो इंटरमीडिएट पाथ हमारे सेट के अंदर आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है। दैट इज वन थिंग। Case 1 will be PS will also be the shortest path from I to J for another subset of V, that is VS2. S2 में भी आ सकता है, वो second set of vertices में भी, मतलब हमें graphs find out करने हैं, बीच बीच में से graphs find out करने हैं। sets का मतलब है वो vertices find out करने हैं जो हमें path दे रहा है from V हमारे source से destination तक, ठीक है। अब वो जो यहाँ पे path कोई intermediate path इस set 1 में आया है वो set 2 में भी आ सकता है, it may occur. Case 2 है, we can divide path PS into two paths P1 and P2 ऐसा भी हो सकता है where P1 is the shortest path between vertices I and K and P2 is the shortest path between vertices K and J. So P1 and P2 both have the intermediate vertices from the set. So yeah, based on the above understanding, the recursive function of Floyd-Warshall algorithm can be derived. So Dijk is equal to, if K is equal to 0, if K, this K is equal to 0, Wij will be your weight of that ij or edge will be your answer. If K is greater than 0, then minimum of Dij K minus 1, Dik K minus 1 plus Dkj K minus 1, this will you will find out. Minimum of this, if this is minimum, then this is the answer, this is minimum, then this is the answer. If K is greater than 0, where Dijk weight of the shortest path from I to J, for which all intermediate vertices element 1, 2 to K. And Wij is edge weight for vertex, ये तो edge weight है total. So working strategy यहाँ पे कैसे वो बता रहा है. Initial distance matrix D0 of order n into n consisting direct edge weight is taken as the base distance matrix. Another distance matrix D1 of shortest path Dij1 including one intermediate vertex is calculated, where Ij is an element of the vertex V. The process of calculating distance matrices D2, D3, Dn by including other intermediate vertices continues until all vertices of the graph is taken. The last distance matrix Dn, which includes all the vertices of a matrix as intermediate vertices, gives the final result. So this is the pseudocode they have given. We're just going to, and the time complexity of this algorithm is ONQ. 3 loops, 3 nested loops are there, so it is ONQ. इसीलिए यहाँ पे 3 nested loops लगे हुए हैं, इसीलिए ONQ इन्होंने लिखा हुआ है, और ये हम फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं, राइट. सो हाउ टू अप्लाई फ्लॉयड एंड वॉशल. तो ये आपका डायरेक्टेड ग्राफ दिया हुआ है. कैन यू सी इफ आई मैक्सिमाइज मोर. So see the direction of the arrow. Here arrow is there, here arrow is there, here arrow is there, here arrow is there. Can you see that? It's a directed graph, right? With the weights given. There is this is -4. Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
This is -4, right? So we will create the initial matrix D0 from the given edge weights of the graph, right? So D0 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are four vertices. So you will make a matrix or a table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1, 1. There is no edge, so 0. 1 to 2 is 9. If you see 1 to 2 direction of, you have to see the direction. If the direction of the arrow is not pointed towards that thing, then you will put 0 there. Can you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So 1 to 2 there is a direction, so 9. 1 to 3 there is a direction, so -4. Then 1 to 4. 1 to 4 there is nothing. Can you see that? So infinity we have put, not 0. We have put what?
Infinity.
Infinity. Right. Then 2 to 1. 2 to 1 there is a direction. Can you see that? 6 is
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Then 2 to 2 will be 0. Right. 2 to 3 you don't have, the direction is 3 to 2, not 2 to 3. So it will be infinity. Right. And 2 to 4 is 2. Right. Then 3 to 1. No direction is there, infinity, because 1 to 3 is there. 3 to 1 is no direction. Then 3 to 2 is 5. Then 3 to 3 is 0. And 3 to 4 also direction is not there. It is 4 to 1. So 3 to 4 will be infinity. Then 4 to 1 there is no direction, infinity. 4 to 2 there is no direction, infinity. 2 to 4 it is, not 4 to 2. 4 to 3 there is a direction, that is 1. And 4 to 4 is 0. This is your D0 matrix. Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for creating distance matrices D1, D2, etc., we use 2 simple tricks for avoiding the calculation involved in each step. weight of the shortest path from one vertex to itself will always be 0 since we are dealing with no negative weight cycle. So we will put diagonal elements as 0 in every iteration. Can you understand? Diagonal elements are 0 because 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 will always be 0. So they are saying to simplify, we will take some tricks to simplify that we will keep the diagonal elements or to 0. We are dealing with no negative weight cycle. There is no negative weight cycle here. Simple thing was there, no cycle was there. So that's what we are. So we will put diagonal elements as 0 in every iteration. For the intermediate vertex j, we will put row and column elements of dj as it is for dj minus 1. So if we don't use the above trick, still the result will be the same. Now for creating d1, so first we will create d1. We have to find distance between every two vertices via vertex 1. We will consider d0 as base matrix as below. So yeah, this will be our base matrix, right? And now we have to find distance between every two vertices via 1, via this 1. So d1 first 2 3. So 1 1 will always 1 1 will these elements will be fixed in the d1. Can you understand? From the d0, this and this will be fixed. First row and first column will remain the same. Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
See here, the first row and first column will remain the same here, and the 0 diagonal one will also remain the same. Can you understand? Class. First column, first row, you will take from D0 and put it in D1 as what it is in D0. You will put it in D1, same. And the 0 elements will also remain the same. The diagonal 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, they will remain 0. Now you have to calculate which one are left. You have to calculate 2, 3. This you have to calculate. 2, 4 you have to calculate. Right? 2, 3, 2 you have to calculate. You have to calculate 3, 4. You have to calculate 4, 2, 4, 3. Can you understand? If you let 1 and column 1 and row 1 remains the same and diagonal elements remain the same, the rest you have to find out in D1. Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So the rest,
Yes,
so you have to find 2, 3. So 2, 3 is this one. This one you have to find. What is the formula for finding 2, 3 is minimum D0, 2, 3, comma D0, 2, 1 plus D0, 1, 3. Now this formula, where it has come from? It has come from here. Can you see that? If k is greater than 0, then minimum dij k minus 1, dij k minus 1. So 2, 3 means I and j are this. So d0, 2, 3, right? Ij k minus 1. So this is what you are taking, 2, 3, and the next one is I k minus 1 plus kj k minus 1. So that will be d0 I k we are taking as 1, and what was the other one? kj I k minus 1, kj k minus 1. This one. So it is dkij. So d023, d021 plus d013. If we are taking 1k as 1, so 21 plus, because this is your one k. D1 we are finding, so we are taking D021 plus D013. So what is D023?
023.
Infinity.
21. 21. 1 is 6. It is 6, right? 2, 3, so we don't know, so we have put infinity here, right? This D023 we don't know, so we have put infinity here. Can you see that? So D021 is 6, right? Plus D013. What is 13? Minus 4. This one, right? Minus 4. 6 minus 4 is how much? 2. 6 minus 4 is how much? 2. So our minimum of this or this. So minimum, this we don't know, 2, 3. So we have put infinity and 2. So which one is minimum? Which one is minimum? 2, na? Infinity so cannot be minimum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So 2 is the answer. So that we will take. Now we have to find out 2, 4. This one we need to find out. So 2, 4 again, D024, D021 plus D014. Because D1 k is 1, so D21 14. So again, D024 is 2. If you see here, D024 is 2. So we are putting 2 here. And D021 21 is 6 and 14 is infinity. So 6 plus infinity will be infinity only. Yes.
Yes,
6
ma'am.
plus infinity will be infinity, which will be, so 2 and infinity. What is the minimum? 2.
2.
Then again 3, 2. 3, 2. So this one we need to find out now. So 3, 2, D032 is 5 and D031 plus D012. We need to find out 31 is 31 is infinity and 12 is 9. So infinity plus 9 will be infinity. So minimum will be 5. Can you see that? Right? You will put those values here. So your 2, 3 is 2. Your 2, 4 is 2. Your 3, 2 is 5. Right? So for creating D1, we have to find distance between every two vertices via vertex 2 now. So it is not D1, it is D2 now, not D1. So D2 is vertex 2 we have to keep in mind. So D2 we are taking out now. So 1, 3 we will find out. 1, 4 we are finding out. Right? Then 3, 1. This one. Okay, now you have to keep the second matrix, second column and second row. Can you see that? Second column and this intact, and you have to change these values, I think, this and this. Yes, I think so. Hmm. So that means this is fixed and this is fixed in the second one. Can you understand? This is fixed and this is fixed in the second one. No, they have changed here also. 1 4. Okay. In this they are finding 1 3 now. So 1 3, this one. If we find out 1 3, so because we have to take now this one as our base, this one, this as our base, D1. So 1 3, D1 2, because 2 is the intermediate vertex we are finding out. So 1 2 2 3. So it is coming out to be -4 as the minimum, and 1 4 1 4, this one we are finding out. So it is 1 4 and D 1 2 2 4, and 11 is the minimum. So here at 1 4 it is 11 you will put instead of infinity, and 3 1, this one. So the infinity part, wherever we are finding the best values, we are finding out that. So 3 1, this we are finding out. 3 2 2 1. So it is again giving us 11 as the minimum. So we will put 11 here also. This is another solving. Now create distance D3 now, keeping vertex 3 as the intermediate. So D3 we are finding out 1 2. If we find out, so D12, D13, 3 2. So 1 3 is 9 here. No, 1 3 is -4 and 3 2 is 5. -4 and 5, and 1 2 is 9. So which one is minimum? 1. So 1 will be the value here. So we will change it to 1 here. Here we will change it to 1. Right, then 1 4. This one. 1 4, 1 3, 3 4. 11 -4 plus 7, 3 is the minimum. So we will change it to 3 here. Here 3 has been changed here. Now D4, they have intermediate vertex is 4 now. So we are finding out 1 2. So 1 2, 1 4 and 4 2. So 1 4. 1 4 is 3 and 4 2 is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. So minimum is 1. So we will let it will be 1 only here. 1 2. D4 gives the shortest path between any vertices or even later. So why have they not taken all the parameters? That's what I'm seeing. They have taken 2 3, 2 4, 3 2. 2 3, 3 4. Two, 3, 2 4. 3 2. Why haven't they changed 3 4 and 4 2 and 4 3? these values we need to change. So it's not this one. This value we need to change. The infinity one, so we need to change. This is the minimum. 1 is already the minimum here. If we see here, 1 is already the minimum. So where have we calculated 4, 2? Can you see where have we calculated 4, 2? They have calculated here, see, and 4, 1 also they have calculated. Maybe they have not given here, but we have to calculate all these values actually. 1, 3 we have calculated. 1, 4 we have to calculate. Sorry, 1, not this one. From here, sorry, we have to calculate 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 4, 3. These values we need to calculate here. Kindly do that. You will get some result, and then you will take second vertex as the one which will remain the same, second vertex, and apart from that don't take the diagonal one. Second vertex will remain the same, and you have to find out the other vertices. Leaving the diagonal vertices, you have to find the other vertices, what are the values. Then when you are taking D3, you have to take the third vertex as it is, this one, and you have to find other vertices, right? If they are having larger values like 9, 0, you will not the diagonal elements you will not consider. 9, this 11, this will remain fixed, right? You have to consider the other elements. You have to change according to their values, so you have to change that. You have to find out that, so you will get D3. Then D4 again, you will keep the fourth column as it is, and already if you have smaller elements in certain rows, then try to find the, if you are having all the values now, right? If you are having all the values now, just consider the values here which is giving you the lowest value. That's all. This is what you have to do. You will get the final result. Right? Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what Floyd and Warshall algorithm is all about. And the complexity, I think it is n cube, but here Bellman-Ford is given, this is given, it was n cube. O(n) cube is the time complexity of this. Compared to Dijakra's was Dijkra algorithm on each vertex will result in time complexity of O(v) cube. For graph other than complete, it shall be n into n log n. So that is what they have given you, and here it is V cube, Bellman-Ford algorithm. V4 basically, not V cube, V to the power 4. So this was your dynamic programming. These are the algorithms for dynamic programming, Floyd, Warshall, and binomial and all that. Another one is string matching techniques. So in string matching techniques also you have string match. Can everybody understand what is string matching? Class? Pattern matching. You have a text or a sentence, right? You have to search a string in that or something like that. Can you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
तो जैसे स्पेल चेकर है, प्लेगियरिज्म है, टेक्स्ट एडिटर्स हैं, डिजिटल फोरेंसिक्स में भी कई जगह ये सब यूज होता है. तो देयर आर टू एल्गोरिथम्स, वन इज Rabin-Karp and the other is Knuth-Morris-Pratt algorithm. These are the two algorithms. Because our time is over, we will understand them when we will do practicals also. तो ये दो algorithms आपके रहते हैं समझना, बाकी तो सारे आपके लगभग I have completed all the algorithms. तो ये सारे algorithms exam point of view से you should know them, right? और मैंने आपको बोला था please download the 5-year question paper and go through the question paper accordingly. ये सब आपके इसमें है. जो ब्लॉक 4 है आपका, तो ब्लॉक 4 जो है वो उसमें से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं आता है. उसमें आपको बस ये पढ़ना है एनपी और एनपी प्रॉब्लम, एनपी पीएनपी क्लास क्या होता है और एनपी पीएनपी और एनपी कंप्लीट प्रॉब्लम्स क्या होते हैं. बस थ्योरी टाइप में पढ़ना है. नथिंग एल्स टू स्टडी इन दिस पार्ट ऑफ, मतलब इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, इसमें से ज़्यादा कुछ आता नहीं है. बस ये पता होना चाहिए ये पीएनपी और एनपी कंप्लीट क्या होते हैं, बस इनकी डेफिनेशंस पता होनी चाहिए. बाकी इसमें से ज़्यादा नहीं आता है. अंडरस्टूड? जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें हैं जो एग्जाम में आने वाली हैं वो आपके ब्लॉक 1, ब्लॉक 2, ब्लॉक 3 हैं. ब्लॉक 1, ब्लॉक 2, ब्लॉक 3 आर द 3 study these things which will be important in your exams, right? तो ये जो दो एल्गोरिथम्स बचे हैं ये हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखेंगे. मतलब कल, tomorrow is your practical class. We will do practical also and we will just because it's a 3 hours practical, तो in half an hour ये दोनों algorithms को एक बार देख लेंगे और उसके बाद फिर हम अपना practical शुरू कर देंगे, right? So anybody has any doubt or anything? Anybody has doubt or anything, any
No, ma'am.
anything you want to find out or you want to ask? Today is the last date for your what is that? For submission of your assignment, or it has been extended? Last date है ना आज?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody has submitted it? Anybody is left?
Yes.
Those who are MCA OL, please submit it on LMS portal. आपको लॉग इन करना है. MCA OL के students, online students. ODL, they can submit it according to their study centers, whatever study center has informed them. They can submit it there. ODL mode. OL mode, all of you have to submit it on the LMS portal. Everybody has put their attendance in the chat box, name and enrollment number. In the chat box, please write your name and enrollment number. Anybody is left? So this was your last theory class. From tomorrow, we will be starting our practical sessions. Anything you have doubt or anything, please you are free to ask.
ऑफलाइन भी सबमिट करना होगा. हेलो हेलो.
हाँ जी, who is there?
असाइनमेंट है वो सिर्फ ऑनलाइन सबमिट करना है या फिर ऑफलाइन भी सबमिट करना है?
क्या किसके बारे में पूछ रहे हो?
असाइनमेंट
क्या ऑनलाइन सबमिट करना है मतलब?
उसको ऑफलाइन भी जाके स्टडी सेंटर पे जमा करना होगा या फिर सिर्फ ऑनलाइन करने से हो जाएगा?
किसके लिए पूछ रहे हो आप? OL की ODL?
MCA
OL all have to submit it online in their LMS portal. No study center is involved in that.
ओके मैम।
MCA OL ऑनलाइन मोड है, तो ऑनलाइन मोड में ऑनलाइन ही सबमिट होगा ना।
ओके मैम।
तो ऑनलाइन मोड के लिए आपको ऑनलाइन LMS पोर्टल पे लॉगिन नहीं बनाया आपने?
बाकी
बनाना पड़ेगा ना वो तो।
असाइनमेंट मैंने अपडेट कर लिया, अपडेट कर दिया, मतलब सिर्फ ये पूछ रहा था कि ऑफलाइन में जमा तो नहीं करना है।
किससे पूछा था आपने?
आप मतलब कि LMS पे मैंने ऑलरेडी असाइनमेंट सबमिट कर दिया है।
हाँ तो सबमिट कर दिया, फिर और करने की क्या जरूरत है?
तो
फिर ऑफलाइन थोड़ी करना है, वो ODL मोड के लिए, जो ऑनलाइन मोड नहीं है, ODL मोड वाले हैं, उनको सबमिट करना है अपने स्टडी सेंटर के अकॉर्डिंग, जो भी उनके स्टडी सेंटर बोलता है कि उनको कैसे सबमिट करना है, राइट? नॉट फॉर OL मोड। OL ऑनलाइन मोड वाले, MCA OL वाले all have to submit on the LMS portal, right? Anything else? Anything else, class? So should we end the class? We'll meet tomorrow then. I think tomorrow 8 AM आपकी क्लास है शायद प्रैक्टिकल।
Yes, ma'am. 8 to 11.
हाँ, right? We'll meet tomorrow then, right? And please, those who do not have the study material for the practical, MCSL 216, please download that practical book. आपके लैब क्वेश्चंस उसी के अंदर हैं, उनको हम करेंगे MCSL 216 के, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So take care. We'll meet tomorrow then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Bye.